Hello and welcome to another episode of Rebel Rogue, where I haven't zoomed the camera in and I'll be showing you how to paint Ultramarines. Rebel Rogue. Just in case you didn't fully understand, basically I had forgotten to zoom the camera in so you could still see the junk that I keep on my hobby desk, and yeah, we'll be painting some Ultramarines today. For this guide you will need the following paints. At base you will need Vallejo's model colour Royal Blue or a similar mid-blue tone, Citadel base Retributor armour or a similar gold tone, Mephiston Red, similar sort of red colour, Vallejo's Khaki, sort of khaki colour, Vallejo's Bone White, again sort of bone white colour, Vallejo's Flat Brown, sort of mid-brown colour, Vallejo's Off-White, an off-white colour or white, Vallejo's Natural Steel, again just a sort of silver colour, Vallejo's Dark Flesh, sort of a flesh colour, if you have flesh on your model. If not, then you can miss that out. Panzer Ace's German Tank Crew, which is or a similar sort of dark grey, a black wash, a brown wash, and additionally, do you need them? Yes, I think you do. What do you need them for? Additionally, you will probably need Vallejo's Medium Olive, Vallejo's Flat Flesh, and Vallejo Flat Earth. Can't quite remember what they're all for, but you know, I'll work it out. For those of you new to the Warhammer 40,000 universe, the Ultramarines are a Codex-compliant chapter of the Space Marines, and are basically the Games Workshop poster boys. This video is sort of being released to coincide with October and the release of the new Codex Space Marines for 9th edition. If you enjoy this video, please feel free to give it a like, share it if you think other people might enjoy it, and subscribing to a channel would be helpful at the end of the video if you do indeed like this video. Alternatively, if you want to make sure that you don't forget, you can of course subscribe right now. If you're on touchscreen, you can literally just tap on the video, scroll up, and press the subscribe button that should appear. Anyway, after that little thing, we can begin the guide. I've already showed you the colours at the beginning, and the first colour we will be applying is Vallejo's Royal Blue. Now, we are using Royal Blue, but you could use any sort of mid-blue tone. It's an interesting colour. I think it's Macragge Blue from Citadel is the recommended colour, but I do quite like Royal Blue, the effect it gives. It still gives that sort of it gives Royal Blue, doesn't it? It's a mid-blue tone. So we'll be applying this over all of the armour panels on this model. Don't worry if you get it on anything else at this stage, because we can always cover it later. I'm using a Raphael size 1 here, but you could use any brush with a medium size, maybe a Citadel medium layer brush, or what is it, Army Painted Regiment brush, something like that. That sort of size, quite small yet not small, sort of medium sized brush, just to get into the little cracks, nooks and crannies. Of course, I'm painting Captain here. If you're just painting an Intercessor, for example, then this will be a much simpler step. Make sure that you do catch all of the armour, especially if you are painting something like this Captain. You want to make sure you have all the armour panels, elbow joints. For some reason, when I picked this up, this model has no hand, so I'm just leaving him with no hand. Thought it might be quite interesting as like a battle scar or something. No hand. With the armour now all complete, as you can see it is nice and blue, we can move on to painting some of the other details. Firstly, we're going to paint the cloak of this model. If your model does not have a cloak, say for example a Primaris Intercessor, does not have a cloak, you can skip part of the step. I will be painting using Mephiston Red. I'll be painting the whole cloak, but I will also be painting the seals of any purity seals. This is sort of an essential step, and it is often on intercessors. You will often find these purity seals. These are these little things, these wax seals, the seals themselves, and then you've got the parchment on them. Also, I'm also going to possibly paint let's go with a bit of, I'm going to go a bit retro here, and I'm going to paint the bolter casing in red. Now, if you are going for a more modern scheme, you could very easily paint this in black, as I will demonstrate in a later step. This red colour was the original colour of the Ultramarines bolter. And I think it gives a nice, I don't know, almost, it does give it quite a retro appeal. And it was a second-hand model. I think it's from quite a while ago. I think it needs that, just that extra kick of retro. And as mentioned before, I'll be painting the outer side of the cloak. I'll not be painting the inner side, as they usually have two-tone cloaks. With the red now complete, this model is looking very saturated. But don't worry, this will be fixed during the wash step. It will tone down all the colours and make it appear slightly darker. Now, moving on to the next step, we can paint the little fabric here, and this any little frilly bits, frilly symbol banner things. You see them occasionally on intercessors, but these little frilly banners and such like, we're going to paint them in Vallejo's khaki, though any khaki would suffice. If you're wondering why I'm not really saying much, it's because I can't think of anything to say regarding this miniature, or what I'm currently doing. Then again, I could mention that if you look in the top right hand corner, hopefully it should be fixed by the time this video goes out, there should be a little card popped up that is linking you towards my base coating video or my entire basics playlist. Please click it, please watch it after this, really help the channel, and really, well, helps us, helps the channel, helps people find these videos. So, if you give it a watch, be nice, it'd be nice. Get a little watch on the basics playlist. Of course, if you've already seen it, then thank you for watching the basics playlist. It's a decent playlist. It took me a bit of time to do, and I hope you enjoyed it. I think now would be a good time to mention that this channel does have a Facebook page and an Instagram account. So if you'd like to see pictures of miniatures like this and other ones that I've painted in the past, then go over to the Instagram page or the Facebook page. But the Instagram page gets regular photos, whereas the Facebook page doesn't get quite so regular or good quality. But if you want to speak to me about anything, or just want to engage in the polls, regular Facebook polls, then head on over to the Facebook page. Then you can join the group and you can participate in the main polls, or just generally have an account, follow the general page, Rebel Rogue Facebook page, and you can participate in the public polls. It's quite likely that the public polls and current poll on the group will have changed by the time this video goes out, but at the time of recording it's one on Space Marines and one on whether we should have Necrons or Orcs. So if there is also another one on the Chaos Legions, which one you'd like to see me paint first. So if any of that interests you, then head on over there and be sure to give it a like whilst you go there. Anyway, on to the next colour. To paint the skin, I'll be using Vallejo's Dark Flesh. And at this point, if you don't have any skin, you can paint 2 additional colours onto this model also. These colours are Vallejo's Medium Olive on this little wreath here, or any other wreath details. You might be able to see it, that little wreath on the back. And Vallejo's Flat Earth onto the pole of this back banner, and any other details such as that you want to be brown, like a sort of earthy brown. I will be painting both of those details off camera, but for the flesh I will paint it on camera for you. I do hope you're enjoying this video, and I hope you don't find the quality too poor. I have been looking into getting a proper camera, but they're expensive, very expensive, and I just do not have the money to get a proper camera. So my phone is shooting at 60 frames per second, actually, not bad. Shooting at 1080 at 60 frames a second and exported from Shotcut at 720 at 60 frames a second, or whatever it's at when it's exported from Shotcut. We'll have to do. Cameras are very expensive. I've also been thinking about getting a new microphone or an audio recorder or something, so I can edit better audio, but also don't have the money for... well, I do probably have the money for that, but probably could do with a better camera. But realistically, I don't think this is too bad. Just gotta have the right lighting and all that. Anyway, that's the Dark Flesh all completed. I'll do the Flat Earth and Medium Olive off screen, off camera, whatever. And I'll see you for the wash step. Now we can start applying the washes onto this model. As said before, I'll be using a black wash and a brown wash. The brown wash will be going across mainly the parchment and the purity seals, as well as the khaki colour. It might go across the red, though I might use black for that. It will certainly be going across the brown parts of the model as well. The brown will also be going across some of the gold details. Probably these little ropes, I'll probably be doing them on that, and the black on the rest of them. The black will be going on any of the silver details, possibly this skull. The rest of the gold details, the black details, the red details, and any other areas you want to be black or washed with black. And of course I've forgotten to mention the main one, which is the power armor. That will be washed with a black wash. So let's start with a black wash and then move on to the brown wash. I was just thinking, where should I start? And then I remembered this is going on the power armor. So I'm just going to apply it quite liberally across these areas, across the eagle and the plate there. I'll continue this and be back for the brown wash. Now that that's done, we can apply the brown wash. I am using Agrax Earthshade, but you could of course use any brown wash, Army Painter Strong Tone, or something like Army Painter Strong Tone, Vallejo Brown Wash, basically any brown wash. Or you could use a brown ink, like a brown, say, Vallejo Brown Game Ink, though I would certainly mix it with black Game Ink to get a darker colour, to more closely mimic Agrax Earthshade. I personally really like applying black washes to things. Certainly this homemade black wash that I was using before, as I find it really darkens things down. It just makes everything appear so much more grim, dark and hopeless. As you can see, all this gold and that banner, it brings out a crazy amount of contrast. And now you can see on the reds, the top black banner was black washed. You can see the cloak wasn't, and you get a really strong red from the cloak, but a really desaturated dark red from the banner, and they were both painted the same base red. So I do really like black washes. Of course, if I was going to paint something more realistic, I'd probably go for possibly even a wash of the same colour. For example, if I was going to paint blue Prussian uniforms, well, when I normally paint them, I don't actually paint, I don't normally use a wash when I've been doing them on things like Death Corps of Krieg, but generally, if I was going to use a wash, then I would, I'd use a blue wash, or a blue ink, rather than a, what do you call it, rather than the black, as it's more realistic, but I do really like using black, just get a grim darkness to everything. Anyway, that was my rather enthusiastic thoughts on brown washes and black washes, and now we can calmly move into the final part of the video. So, to take this model to the next level, and I probably will do this because it's a captain and I want it to look nice, there are a couple of things you could do. The first is to reset all of the base coats, though on the armour I might actually, I'm on the fence whether I should reset the base coat or to reset the base coat or to edge highlight with royal blue. Sort of on the fence. Might do both. Can't do both, can I? Actually, so I can. Any which way, I'll decide that later, and you'll probably see a picture if you're on the Facebook group, and it will probably be the thumbnail for this video. I will, so if you reset the base coats for all of these, I would recommend using a different colour for the, if you say, for example, on this one I've got the back banner a different colour, so I might use a different colour to layer on that. Then I would highlight the hell out of the cloak, most definitely highlight that to the brink of destruction. Certainly reset this, possibly give it an edge highlight of bone white. Definitely reset that, and the face. Now the face, I would first begin by resetting it with dark flesh, and then I would actually apply a highlight of flat flesh to it. If I was really feeling brave, which I might do in my own spare time, I would do a really final edge highlight with light flesh from Vallejo. You will have seen on the starting thing that flat flesh was an additional colour. It's not a mandatory step, but certainly on a character I will certainly be doing that. The laurel wreath I'll certainly be highlighting, and the bones, again, be highlighting them more. So, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, feel free to leave it a like. If you really liked it and like other videos from the channel, please consider subscribing. Really helps the channel, all that. And I'll see you for the next video, but in the meantime, there is the links to the channel's social media in the description below. There is a link to the Facebook page, and from there you can find the Facebook group, regular polls, all that. And there's of course the channel's Instagram account, where you'll be able to see pictures of this model and many others. If all that sounds good, well, feel free to go down to the description and click the links, follow us on Instagram, etc, etc. And if you think someone else will find this video useful, please consider sharing it. I'm really trying to grow the channel, and it's very difficult on YouTube, especially when there's lots of other people doing the same thing. Anyway, if you are bored, you can check out these videos and any videos that are in the back catalogue, which you'll find on the channel. Just go through the videos and you might find one you like. Anyway, I'll see you for the next